Association of Media Women in Kenya was started in 1982. AMWIK was started at a time when the voices of women were really, nowhere to be heard. A lot of focus was always on men. If it's coverage of politics, it was always about men. If it's about the media, it was always about men. Yeah. And that is why AMWIK was started, to amplify the voices of the women, to talk about issues that affect the women. And because you can imagine the journey of talking about the women, right from female genital mutilation, speaking about the women contribution to politics and economic life, we never had that space. And that is why AMWIK was formed. And I'm really so proud of the founders of AMWIK, the people who came up with that idea. And looking at the kind of work that AMWIK does, it's amplifying the voices of women using the media, because the membership is made up of journalists and the people in the media. And so what we do is looking at the issues that affect the women, and now we use the power that we have, the power of the microphone, the power of the pen, the power of the paper, to talk about the issues that affect the women. Yeah. And because of also our role also in the media, in the media industry, it's not just about women. There's a lot of things that we look at, gender responsive reporting, election reporting, and even looking at the technology. Like we've also had to change a lot. Like now we've even been training journalists and political aspirants, especially the women, on digital security. We've been tackling issues of online violence, and basically we've had to be changing according to times, because we realize even the threats against women are no longer just offline, we also have them online. So AMWIK basically is there to ensure there is gender mainstreaming and ensure that the voices of the women are being heard. And not just being heard on the second or the third page of our newspapers, but is actually being heard on the front page of the newspaper. Is being heard as a headline story. So there's a lot of things that we are doing at AMWIK, and one of the ways that we drive, we pay subscription to become members of AMWIK. For the people who work, we pay 3,000 shillings, and also we have students who are studying journalism. We also encourage them to come on board, because we try to train them so that by the time they transit, they've already been exposed to the media house. So for the students, we charge them 1,500. And I can tell you, those who have been members of AMWIK can really speak of the benefits, because we also build their careers. We don't want a media where you cannot survive on your own, that you don't have the knowledge and skills, because you have to think of career progression. Yes, you're a journalist, but what do people know you for? Do people know you because you've been fighting for the children's rights? Do people know you because you've been fighting, for climate change and how we can intervene? So we are trying to ensure that, through these trainings, that we're empowering the journalists, that 5 years from now, you can see yourself. 10 years from now, you can see yourself and ask, Bori, what do I want to be 10 years from now? And this is what we are doing, and this is why we encourage people to become members of AMWIK, because we have so much to offer, a lot to offer. And this year we are turning 40 in March.
Wow, life begins at 40.
Life begins at 40. So you can imagine we've just been playing around, and now we are going to start our life.
Wow.
And so in these 40 years, we're really going to launch very important documents that are going to guide how we work. At the same time, we also want to launch a mentorship program with the EU delegation in Kenya. And all we want is to encourage, especially the women at the management level in the newsrooms, that they feel there's a shoulder to lean on, that we can discuss the challenges that we are facing as managers. Sometimes you can look at Judie and say, she's the ED, she's okay, she's the boss. But even being that ED, there are a lot of challenges that you go through, and exchanging knowledge, exchanging survival tactics is what is going to help. So for us at AMWIK basically is to empower the women in the media, and also empower the larger society, the women in the larger society, by ensuring that the bridge between them and their visibility, the bridge between them on how they can package themselves, including some of the projects that we have is, to train female aspirants on how they can engage the media effectively. So I would say AMWIK is the right place to be. If you're a journalist, if you're a woman in the media, in communication, AMWIK is the right place to be, because we do it wholly, even socially, psychosocial support. We are really tackling a lot of issues through AMWIK.